So have you set for yourselves your work hours, like start and stop? So I have a hard stop. This is no matter what, I'm stopping at this time. I know I have the same problem. I was working until 11 o'clock last night. This is so bad. I need to apologize to my son for this. I was at his baseball game yesterday with my laptop because I had like four things that I had to get done. And I'm watching him play, but I'm also working, and that's not healthy for anybody. But I was still up till 11 because I had things I had to get done. So it's so hard as an entrepreneur to find those times. Have you been able, you were shaking your heads no, but
Yeah, I think it is a challenge. I think it's also, and you're in the same boat, Tracy, where it's like going back to even purpose-driven ventures. It's like you care about it so much, like you want to do it. It's like it's such, it's so, it gives you such a rush, and so it's satisfying, and you want to be doing the work that you're doing. I do think though, like for us, we try and take a day off usually in the week. We usually do that. We have our Sunday resets usually. So when we meet, it's like, yes, to do work, but it's also to plan for the week ahead, which is a really nice sort of calm way to do it, where before Monday morning rush comes in, we're able to connect. And it doesn't have to be only work, but it's also like catching up and speaking about like the kind of greater overarching things that we need to address for the business and also in our relationship and in our lives as well, to have any clearings or whatnot. So that helps. That definitely helps.
And I think something that's really important to also keep in mind, and something that we've also adjusted to as well, is just like recognizing that even if you do set these like times for yourself, or like when to work, when to not, allowing yourself to be flexible within these boundaries as well. Because I think it's some days like, yeah, maybe we're not getting it to bed until like 2 or 3 a.m. because we have a pitch the next morning, or we have a meeting that we have to prep for. But then other days, maybe we can get to bed at like 9, and just recognizing that, like, what are the little things that you can incorporate in your day? Like whether it's just 10 minutes of breathing, or just going for a walk in the day, or just doing something that you know that really energizes you, helps you feel grounded, and having certain rituals that maybe you do like, but then allowing for the other time to be flexible, and just knowing that we as humans, like we're not machines, and so every day is not going to be the exact replica of the day before, and just giving us the liberty, the kindness as well, and extending that kindness to each other. Things come up with family, and for us, something that we've always held since the very beginning is that like people in our life and everything will always come first. Like if someone needs us, like we will step in for each other whenever like one of us needs it as well, and just recognizing that we to not put necessarily work in front of like the people in our life, which is who we truly care so much about.
that's wise. That's wise. People matter. People come first. Yeah, that's something in knowing yourself and knowing your partners and their rhythms and what works for them. My husband's an early morning guy. He's a 4 a.m. guy. That's just how he rolls his whole life.
Oh,
How he rolls. I
he
can
needs to
sleep.
be trained.
Oh, no. I can sleep till 9 and be perfectly pleased with myself. That's totally okay. And I also know that we've had a rule in our marriage. I don't know how many years we've done this, but after 7 o'clock, I can't ask him questions that are going to make him get his brain start going, because he's shutting his brain down at that point. So if I start asking questions about what's happening tomorrow, or hey, let's think about this concept, or this problem is happening with our children, it has to happen between the 4 a.m. and 7 a.m., or he's not going to be able to fall asleep. So it's just knowing, but that's also spending a lot of time with someone as you get to learn those things and honoring those things, because I'm a night owl. So that's when my brain's going. And so I have to make notes. I can't ask him at that time, and I'm going to forget it if I don't write it down, but I write it down. Okay, we'll talk about this later. Because sometimes I'll start to say something and then I'll stop and be like, oh, I'm sorry, it's after 7. And he's like, well, now you have to tell me, because now I'm wondering what it is. I think it's, something big, and it could have just been something small. So just learning those rhythms is important. You guys are way ahead of the game. I love that. I love that. You got some good thought process.
Oh my gosh, no, we're definitely learning that as well in our relationship. Like, even I think in terms of working styles and a lot of things, we are also like opposites in a lot of ways. And I think even with like Eve's a night owl, I'm definitely more of a morning bird. And we're also like learning that fluctuation as well, and just like understanding
day shift.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. That's what you need to do. You meet about noon, right? Have your productive meetings at noon because
Yeah.
it's still pretty fresh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly when we do it, at noon.
Yeah.
There you go.
Noon stand
There you
up.
go.